so much, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Lauren Saar, and I am the Field Marketing and Events Manager at Lumapps. I have the pleasure today to introduce you to Mia Johns, the Executive Director at Dress for Success Austin, and Teal, Garth, Programs and Communications Coordinator at Dress for Success Austin. Thank you both so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So before we dive in, can you both just briefly introduce yourselves, where you're based, and how you got started working with Dress for Success Austin?
Yeah, Sure. I'm Mia Johns, Executive Director with Dress for Success Austin, and I've been with Dress for Success for almost 9 years, and just became the Executive Director about a year ago, so I'm a year in. And, you know, I've had lots of jobs. I've been in marketing, research for the legislature, copy editing, writing, and I just felt like at this point in my career that I wanted to do something worthwhile and use all of the skills and tools that that I have just to help women.
And I'm Teal Garth, like Lauren said. I'm a newer addition to the team at Dress for Success Austin. I just actually moved to Austin in September of 2019. So I started out as a communications intern for them, and then I started full-time in January as the Programs and Communications Coordinator. So I did my undergrad and graduate degree in communications, and I always wanted to go into like nonprofit communications. So when I moved to Austin and heard about the opportunity with Dress for Success, I thought it was perfect. And so we've been having fun ever since.
Awesome. No, that's a great story for that. And I recently moved to Austin about a year ago as well. So I'm definitely loving it, and it's a great place to be. So with that, in your own words, can you describe what and who Dress for Success is, and what you do and what the mission is for you guys?
Yeah, I'm not going to read our mission that you all can see there, but you know, I know a lot of people identify Dress for Success with the clothing piece, right? And we do so much more than that. I think now with the COVID issue, we're really identifying how helpful we can be with other resources, and especially with career center help that women are needing now at this time, and then just to figure out what their next steps are. But we do like to say that we are an all-in-one solution for women, and that they can receive help not just with professional clothing, but with career tools, and so that they're completely ready for their job search.
Yeah, just, you know, echoing exactly what Mia said, our mission, simply put, is just that we help women get jobs or better jobs. So of course we do have our boutique, and we love to help anyone with professional attire because, you know, it gives them the confidence to go into whatever job interview they may have. But we also want to focus on the fact that we're more than just a suit, and we do have so many career resources available. And like Mia said, I think this is like a great opportunity for us to kind of show the community that we do have so much more than clothes, because it is a little bit hard to get clothing to people right now with everything going on.
Absolutely. And that's one thing that I was hoping to talk about today is what was a typical week or day or, you know, month of activities before COVID and the spread of the pandemic and the changing of work that we've all experienced, and how is that different today and what you guys are doing in your work now?
Well, before COVID, you know, it's always so, I'm here at the office alone, and the rest of the staff is working remotely, but it was always just so lively, right, Teal, with clients coming in and out, and our volunteers here just so excited to help clients and seeing the clients work so hard. Um, everybody kind of just working together on the same goal. And of course, it is a beautiful space. Our volunteers work so hard, and our volunteer and inventory manager works so hard to make it look really nice and inviting and calming. So I think that, I'm sure a lot of people are missing that, but we're doing our very best to provide those one-on-one resources remotely.
Yeah, definitely. And like Mia said, I mean, the atmosphere there was so great. Like everyone has such a positive attitude and is just so, eager and willing to come together for the mission of empowering women. And it's just such a fun environment to be in. It's like one of the things that really drew me to Dress for Success when I first started there. And even though, we're not obviously able to be together with everyone in the office right now, I think that positive attitude and energy toward our mission is still, carried over in our virtual services because we have so many volunteers that are helping us every day with virtual appointments and, getting our clients the help that they need.
That's excellent. And I know I saw this slide and you shared this with me with a couple of the different areas where you help and assist. So with this, can you explain a specific example or different use cases of where you're meeting your clients and taking them through this journey, but where it's in a virtual format and what that example might look like?
Yeah. So basically, this client career journey is just kind of an example for someone who is maybe starting at the very beginning and coming to us. They need all the help that they can get. So you start at career assessment and mapping, and then you move forward to other things like resumes, cover letters, building your online profile, and stuff like that. But we always like to say that we make an effort to meet women where they are. So no matter if they're starting from the beginning or even from before the beginning, if they're maybe not even ready to get a job yet and they just kind of need some help with community resources, we love to help with that as well. Or if, they even already have a job and they're looking to get a promotion or get a better job, we want to meet them where they are and help them in whatever stage of their career journey that they are in. So how it's changed virtually, the process I would say is still pretty much the same. We still are trying to meet them wherever they are and give them help with whatever they feel that they need help with. But instead of them coming into the office, we have just a virtual appointment request form. If they reach out to us, they fill out, what days and times work best for them, what they'd most like help on, whether that's editing their resume, practicing for an interview, setting goals, anything that they need help with. And then we just match them with one of our volunteers. And then the main difference I would say is that we have an option to do it over email, over the phone, or over video call. So we just want our clients to feel as comfortable as they can because not everyone is super familiar with this new technology that we're having to learn during the pandemic. But more are getting used to the whole video call format. So we love to see that. And so then they connect with the volunteer. They go over whatever goals they have for the appointment. And then after we follow up, they can book as many appointments as they want with us, which is the same as if we were doing on-site services, which I think not a lot of people know. It's hard because we can't really just, give out clothes to people who want to come in every single day. We just don't have that amount of inventory in our boutique, but career resources are endless because we always have volunteers who are willing to help and staffing the Career Center. So whether it's virtual services or on-site services, Career Center appointments are unlimited for anyone who needs help with that stuff. And I think we've realized that through virtual appointments, it gives a lot of flexibility for clients who might not have access to transportation or childcare or whatever they need to be able to come into our office. So while we are really looking forward to going back to our office and seeing clients in person, we hope to definitely continue our virtual services for people who that might work better for.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to highlight some of the results of your virtual services that you provided. Can you speak to any of these in a little bit more detail? Or, I mean, they're very impressive numbers, and I think it's just, yeah, very impressive how you've been able to pivot. Many organizations were struggling or working through how they can change their operations from every industry, and it seems like you guys have been very successful in, if anything, actually being able to reach a wider audience potentially. So can you talk about a little bit more of these details and kind of, I guess, in particular, the personalized resource sheets, what that entails?
Yeah, for sure. So it was, a little difficult to kind of maneuver and figure out at the beginning, because we do have trouble sometimes communicating with clients who don't necessarily have access to the technology that they need to be super responsive. They don't have, internet access, or they don't have a computer, or even a smartphone. So at first we were kind of thinking, could we actually do virtual appointments, or will it work? But, thank goodness we decided to take a chance on it, because while we haven't had as many clients as we usually do just coming into the office daily, we're still able to help a good number of women. And we kind of have done that through these statistics that you're showing here. So the outreach calls are done by our client services or client success coordinator, Mary. And so she's just been kind of reaching. We always have like a client follow-up call list that we're always working on, just to check in with people and see if they need to come back in for an appointment, see where they are in their career journey. So it's kind of the same thing. We're just checking up on everyone who's in our network and seeing if they know about our virtual services, if they need help, what we can do to help them. The personalized resource sheets, we sent out a client survey when we were first starting all of this, just to kind of see where everyone was at and how they were feeling, what were their greatest fears in this, what were their greatest struggles, what did they need from us. And so we have a lot of general resource sheets that are non-job related that we like to give clients. How I mentioned earlier, some people are not quite ready for a job search yet, so we just direct them to other community resources. So we have those general resources, mental health, housing, childcare, education, stuff like that. So we kind of gave them an option on the survey as to what they'd be most interested in, and had some of our interns reach out and send them whatever resource sheets they requested. And we also have a COVID-19 resource guide that's on our website, that has tons of more relevant, up-to-date community resources, organizations or companies that are hiring, where you can get food, information on how to apply for unemployment, how to get your stimulus check, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I want to just brag about the programs team, which we didn't have a programs team before COVID, but we went ahead and hired very part-time one of our other awesome interns, Mary, who is, I mean, when you look at all of those statistics right there, it looks like we have, several hundred employees, but there's only 5 of us total. So we're just so thankful, of course, that our volunteers are ready to go and just so enthusiastic about helping our clients.
Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing. And I love that you mentioned the survey that you sent, because that is something that applies to all different industries and places, whether you're nonprofit, you're technology, or manufacturing, or whoever it is, reaching out to your customers or your employees about getting their feedback and creating that space for open dialogue and communication, and giving these people a voice and what their opinions are is super valuable. And I think was able to provide the information for you guys too on what you can help provide and help them best as well. So I think that's amazing. So one thing is, when things start to open up again a little bit, I know we were talking just even before this that you might start opening up the store one day a week to bring in some donations or to accept clothes donations. And you mentioned that you'd like to continue some of your virtual services at the end, once things start opening up again. Do you see any specific areas where you'll continue the virtual services or different activities that you've done in this time?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, go
Um,
ahead, Teal.
I think just continuing virtual appointments, even though, it may not be our main source of appointments or client services, because, once we have our on-site location open, that is better for people who are looking to get an outfit and career help. But just continuing virtual services through appointments, like I said, I think it gives clients so much more flexibility when they don't have access to whatever resources they need to get to our office. And then maybe, they even work full time during the week. We are open on Saturdays, but if they have children to take care of, or maybe they work night shifts or something, you never know what's going on in people's lives. So I think it's just the best we can do to make our services as flexible as possible. And then we also realize we are kind of reaching a larger demographic of volunteers with this as well, because I think a lot of people who are maybe interested in volunteering and helping us out, but they also work full time during the week, or they are taking care of their kids, or whatever it is that they couldn't commit or find the time to come into our office during the week. So I think continuing virtual appointments will definitely open it up to more opportunities for volunteers to help and more opportunities for women to use our services. And then I really like the virtual workshops we've been doing as well. We kind of just started with that a few weeks ago, but we've had some talks on, managing your mental health and staying grounded and connected during this time. We've had a workshop on how to grow your network with LinkedIn. We're doing one, I think, with Apple in a few weeks about, what it takes to stand out with your networking and with job applications. We're doing one soon about body positivity. So I just think it's awesome how many people in the community have reached out and wanted to partner with us through this. And it's really simple to just kind of host a webinar, and you can reach so many people with it. So I think that's definitely something that we want to keep doing, and just giving the women in our community access to as many resources as we possibly can.
Absolutely. And I love some of those different workshops that you mentioned. And I think it's valuable for anyone really, how to, update your profile, make, optimize yourself as an individual and a job seeker or as an employee. So I think that's extremely valuable resources. With that, I would say, you guys provide career and leadership consulting. Do you have any advice specifically right now that you can give to people who are, looking, or, it's a more difficult time now than may have been in the past. So is there any specific advice you can give in this certain time period for people who are looking?
I think for our clients, it's important to continue networking, even though it's not necessarily in person. But there's all kinds of ways that you can network remotely, and just keep that up. Really nurture your relationships, even though you're not seeing, your people in person. Networking is just so powerful, and it's something that is really going to help them, continue on once we all get back to work.
Yeah, and I think also something that a lot of women we see struggle with, and I think something all of us struggle with, and something that I definitely struggled with when I was, looking for jobs when I graduated, is just like going back to basics and really setting out some goals for your job search. Because we have so many women coming in saying they need a job, but they don't exactly know what they want to do, or what industry they want to be in, or what kind of work environment they're looking for. Even though that may take a little extra time, I think that's super important to just kind of do that groundwork and make sure you know what you're going for, and it can really make your job search easier. It will help you build confidence when you know exactly what you're looking for. and it will narrow down all those positions that you have to sort through. And yeah, I just think that may be really simple, but it's something that we overlook a lot.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I know you mentioned sometimes it can be not always intuitive for people with technology, or it's someone coming just out of graduation. So there's different demographics that you may be working with as far as age or whatever it might be. Do you find that there's a wide range of ages that you work with, and does that make it more or less difficult personalizing your help and your services?
Our career consultants, who are all volunteers, are trained to, like we've been saying, meet a client where she is in her journey. And, the first step is always figure out where she is, assess exactly what tools she needs, and, customize the whole relationship based on where she feels she can use the most help. And then, they're trained to, when they talk to the client again or have an additional appointment, it's always go back to the SMART goals that they set at the beginning and make sure that they're still on track. And a client, like Teal said, can come back and get as much help as she needs with a career consultant.
Yeah, and I think we do definitely serve a wide age range. I think we've seen anywhere from 18 to in 60s or even early 70s. But something I think I'm really proud that we offer is just one-on-one counseling. So that's the whole point of our career center, is that they get to sit down and spend an hour of their time whenever they need to with one of our career coaches and career center volunteers. And I think that really allows us to individualize our services and help people with whatever they need, yeah, no matter where they are in our journey, like we've been saying.
Absolutely. No, that's great. So one question here I have is, all of this amazing work that you guys have done and are continuing to do and will continue to provide more virtual services and adapt in that way, is there any major goals that you have moving forward in the next year, 5 years, 10 years even, specifically for Dress for Success in Austin?
Well, we've been working on our strategic plan and goals, and one thing that we want to make sure of definitely in 3 to 5 years is that the Austin community knows that we are the premier resource for women to get all of those services in one location. And we want the Austin community to know too that it doesn't matter what your income is, we will help anyone who identifies as a woman, and she can get as much help as she needs or wants. And yeah, it doesn't matter, we're not going to discriminate, so anybody who wants to come in and get help, we're here.
Yeah, just I don't even think I have anything to add. Well said, Mia. I think our main goal, we have a lot of little goals within our organization, obviously, but our main goal is really just to reach out to the community and make sure that everyone knows about our services, because I feel like we have so much to offer, and so many people could benefit from our help, but they just don't realize what services we have. So just making sure that people know that we have that all-in-one programming where they can come to get a professional outfit or career help as much as needed, and making sure that we are known to be available to all women, no matter what your status or what your phase in your life is.
Awesome. Definitely. So my last question for you guys before we get into opening up Q&A for the audience, and on that, anyone, please feel free to add your question into the chat you should see on the right side of your panel. All questions are welcomed. So if someone wanted to get involved, whether that's from volunteering or from a donation or a monetary perspective, how do you best recommend that someone gets involved? And keeping in mind that, we're here in Austin, of course, and this is our audience, but that you guys do have locations in other areas too.
Yeah, we are, Dress for Success is a worldwide organization in 30 different countries, and there's 160 affiliates. So, most likely you can get involved in some way or another. Of course, we love having more volunteers. We can always think of something that you can help us with. And then, of course, monetary donations are always welcome. We, of course, receive awesome clothing donations, but, to be able to run all of our programs and pay our rent, pay our staff, it is important to keep monetary donations coming in. And that is, even though we're part of a worldwide organization, each affiliate is responsible for their own fundraising. But then every dollar that's collected for each community stays in that community to help the women become an important part of the community and give back and take care of their families.
Yeah, and like Mia said, every affiliate is different, so they all have, different programs. But for us specifically in Austin, some things we're doing right now for virtual volunteer opportunities are, if you want to be someone who does appointments and works one-on-one with clients, you can definitely reach out. We could always use some more help there with either career coaching, and we are actually doing virtual styling or image consulting appointments. It's mainly we just kind of help women figure out how to work with what they have in their closets now. And then we do clothing packages for women who have an in-person or video interview scheduled that really just have no clothes that would be appropriate. And then they'll just pick that up at our office. So we have openings for those volunteers. If you're interested in hosting a webinar with us, please reach out. I listed all those topics earlier. They're like kind of all over the place, but that's what I love about it. We can, connect with so many people and talk to our community about so many different topics. So if you're interested in that, please reach out. We would love to connect with you. And then also we are doing a minute mentoring series, kind of like giving our clients some little helpful career tips virtually. So we're putting those on our social media, on our YouTube channel, our Instagram, all that good stuff. And it's basically just we're kind of connecting with community partners and leaders in the community, and they're just making like super short 30-second to 2-minute videos about, the best career advice they have to offer, whether that's specifically their expertise or just something that they're passionate about. So yeah, we're just really trying to reach out into the community, use all the resources we have so that we can help our clients as much as possible while we're doing everything virtually. So if anyone out there is interested in any of those opportunities, please reach out to us and we would love to connect with you.
I love that. Yep, absolutely. And we'll have the contact information for anyone who is interested in just a moment. But first, I wanted to get to any questions that anyone has for the team, specifically with Dress for Success, or it can be about career and leadership and career development advice. So we do actually have one question that came in regarding what you were mentioning, Teal, about video interviews. So do you have any best practices for video interviews? Personally, I find it more challenging than in person.
Yeah, so we definitely have some resources that we have been building up on that. I think we probably have some minute mentoring videos, and we definitely have an article on our website that one of our interns wrote for us about that, that I can, make available to you, whoever asked that question. But, just off the top of my head, I agree with you because I think it can be just like a little awkward meeting with people over video, and it kind of like heightens my nerves personally. So I would just say make sure that you're using all the social cues you would use in person, looking them in the eye, making sure to smile and just try to relax as much as possible, even though it's just a weird situation. Try to kind of picture it like you would a normal interview.
Great. So one more question that I see here is, do you have anything like this or know of anything like this for men?
We get that question almost every day. But no, there's not an organization like this for men, but there are different resources in Austin that provide clothes occasionally for men, but and those kind of rotate. But no, there's not one.
Special organization. So, all right, with that, I'll give a final call for anyone if you have any questions. Otherwise, please see here if you want to make a donation or get involved. This is Mia's direct contact information, and we'll also be sending a follow-up email with all of you with the recording if you're interested, as well as Mia and Teal's information if you'd like to learn more. Oh, actually, if you guys don't mind, we have one more question. So,
sure.
Do you have services for women who have received jobs, such as continuing education?
Yes, excellent question. Do you want to go, Teal?
Yeah, sure. We definitely have services. You know, like I said in the beginning, we want to help anyone or any women get jobs or better jobs. So even if you do have a job, you can still come in for career counseling. You know, it's still worth it to be updating your resume, updating your online profiles, you know, getting help with networking. That's definitely still useful once you have a job. And we do have a professional women's group that meets monthly. It's specifically for employed women, and it's kind of like a little networking group. You know, usually when we have our on-site or our office open, we have meetings there, and we have speakers come every month and talk on different topics that mostly have to do with personal and professional development. So that's a great resource. And then right now we're having the meetings virtually too. So that's been really fun. And then we also have a financial literacy course twice a year. We usually pair with local banks. We're doing some webinars with Capital One because we usually partner with them in the spring, tomorrow and at the end of the week right now. But usually when we're not in a pandemic, we have like 4 to 5 week financial literacy courses, and those are for anyone unemployed or employed. So yeah, there's tons we can help you with, even if you have a job.
Awesome. No, that's great. Especially the financial literacy, I think is extremely valuable and something that's not offered too often that I see, at least. So, well, thank you all so much. Thank you, especially Mia and Teal. You guys have been fantastic. And just thank you so much for all that you do for the community, especially in Austin, as an Austinite myself. Again, if you guys are all interested, please reach out to them, check out their website, see how you can get involved as well. Any last words from you guys, or else I'll, sign off, and there we go.
Thank you so much, and thanks to Lumapps. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us, and thanks to everyone who joined.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, Lauren.